you have just read among the things that accrue to him, the benefits and so on. One of the things you read out there that he carries a diplomatic passport. So when he's moving, the office of the 6th president that he occupies is given, number one, the security it deserves, number two, the decorum it deserves, and number three, the protocol it deserves. So even if he is going on a private trip, and it is an all paid for trip, he still has to inform Cabinet Office, through his office, that we are going this direction for this function. So that then government now puts in place and in gear the protocol, the security, and the decorum is upheld. So that wherever he's going, if we have a mission there, our High Commissioner has to receive him. Security has to be provided on the ground. The decorum that goes with the presidency, the former office of the former president, is upheld. So if President Lungu decides to go out of the country without informing cabinet, that cannot be allowed. He's not a private citizen. It's not like leo na wela kwako kutanda kuti hope alipo at hope paliye epita to South Africa. When did she go? She left yesterday. You are a private citizen. But we cannot go and say, where's the former president? Mazacho Cup. No, it doesn't work like that. So he must always, and he knows these things. Former President Lungu was a former Home Affairs Minister and a former president.
Mr. Kawana.
He knows these things.
Mr. Kawana, we want to find out from you. If you look at, the entitlements that he has in the law and the amount of security he needs to have, how hard is it to put together that team? Because it's not really a big team, Mr. Kawana.
No, it's not a question of putting together the team. If you hear me, what I'm telling you is that you must inform. So he was living minus informing. You can't do that. You can't just wake up and go.
But
you inform.
But
so the moment he received that invitation, immediately his office would have processed it
him
channeled it to government.
Isn't it
to inform government
Mr.
that
Kawana,
we have this and we'll be living on such a day?
Hello, Mr. Kawana. Isn't him informing cabinet just a matter of courtesy?
It's not a matter of courtesy, my friend. That's a rule. He's not a private citizen. That is the rule. He must inform.
Mr. Kawana, please point to us in the direction we need to look at for us to see where government can stop a former president from traveling. We can open the document right now.
To what?
Please point to a document that shows that government can stop a former president from traveling.
By mere fact that he did not inform the government.
I'm simply asking for a document that says what you're saying.
By mere fact that he did not inform the government.
But then again, what we need is
where does it say that? Where does it say that?
It is enough for government to say you can't leave because we're not aware. We have not prepared for you to go.
But Mr. Kawana, where exactly does it say that he has to do that? Where does it say that? In which statutes?
The rules. Okay, the rules that govern the office of the former president indicate that he needs to inform cabinet at every move that he makes. He knows. He has the rules.
Yeah, so you're saying he has the rules. So that is what we want you to point at right now and tell us that we stopped him. He was stopped from traveling because we are pointing at this and this is what is backing it. That is what we're asking of you right now. Because we don't want to use emotions. And just like you said when you called in, let's not use emotions. Let's not use what. And that's what we're trying to avoid. So let's point at that right now and tell us that this is what we are basing this on.
So I can inform you now that the cabinet office will be engaging with the office of the 6th Republican president so that these things are ironed out.
Mr. Kawana, okay, that will be after, Mr. Kawana, that will be after he was already stopped from traveling. What did you base that on? We know you can have those engagements afterwards, but this has already happened. What did you base that decision on? What was the backing there? That's what we want to know. And I think that's the issue here. You may have those meetings that you're talking about will be held. Well and good. But with this that happened, the action that was taken, what are you basing that on?
And I will repeat myself. He was prevented from leaving because he did not inform the relevant office of his movement. And therefore government was not aware of his moving, and therefore government did not prepare for his movement. Even if your trip is paid for, is privately paid for, government still has to prepare to put in place the security, the protocol, and the decorum that comes with the office.
And therein, again, the same question. It's a small team, Mr. Kawana. How hard is it to prepare it? Did he have to go through the embarrassment of being removed from a plane?
Look, it doesn't mean when you say you are preparing, it's not saying you are preparing a protocol officer. No, what you are saying when you say these things, the office comes with decorums, okay, that accrues to that office. Yet in terms of the protocols, the protocols that accrue to that office are then handled by the mission on the ground where he's going. If there is no mission on the ground, there is a mission which extends to where he's going, then that is put in place. So if you have not informed government is not aware of where you are going, therefore they have not prepared for you.
Don't you think the government is infringing on his freedom of movement by doing that? Because,
not at all.
Because he has rights in the Bill of Rights. It's in the Constitution. It's enshrined. If there's a rule that he can't move when he wants to move, obviously you have to refer to us to another law.
Yeah, give us the constitutional reference. Yeah,
gives you the power as government to act in that manner.
Simple as that.
I just said two things again. He is not a private citizen. He is an institution,
but he's still entitled to his rights, his human rights that are enshrined in our constitution.
And they have not been taken away.
Clearly have if you're blocking him from traveling.
We are enforcing his rights by ensuring that wherever he goes, government is aware and therefore prepares for his movements.
So the rules that you talk about are not in public domain. They're private. No one is allowed to see them.
Well, I cannot right now divulge to say they are this or that. It's like us divulging details that are in your contract with Hot FM. But I've told you that there are rules that go with the office of a former president, dictate on how government behaves towards that office and how that office behaves towards that government and how the two coordinate to work together.
And in those rules, it specifically
says... Remember that President Lungu is not the first former president that this country is handling. We've handled Dr. Kaunda, we've handled Rupia Banda.
Yeah, we understand that, Mr. Kawana. As we close, we just want to hear it from you clearly. Those rules that are not in public domain say that if he doesn't ask for permission to leave, then government has the right to stop him from traveling. That's what you're telling us.
Those are your words.
No, that's what you said. That's what you said.
My words. Let me repeat myself, so that you do not rush into trying to misquote me. Those are your words. My words are this. My words are this. When the former president is going anywhere, his office informs cabinet, and cabinet makes sure that it prepares for him wherever he's going.
And if he doesn't tell you, then he can't travel.
We cannot know, and therefore we cannot allow that he goes, because there's nothing that we have done to prepare for him where he's going.
So the rules say you are allowed to stop him from traveling if he doesn't tell you.
Take for example, he goes somewhere and something happens and government was not aware. You, the citizens, the first thing you will say is that where did the former president go, and you as government you are not aware? How did he go? If anything happens now, because nothing has happened,
I'm just asking you, Mr. Kawana, those are just semantics now, but I'm just asking you a clear question. In the rules that you have that are not in public domain, do those rules give you power to stop a former president from traveling? That's all I want to know.
My answer remains static.
Is it yes or no?
For the former president to travel, he informs government. There are rules and regulations.
You're privy to the information, so we want to hear from you, because you can end this debate right now by telling us if those rules allow for government to stop a former president to stop a former president from traveling. You can't
Those
remain static.
rules allow the former president to always inform the government he's traveling.
And then it also gives the government from traveling if he doesn't get
Requires the government to prepare for him. And if the government is not aware, it can't prepare.
So
and if it can't prepare, it can't go.
Clearly, you don't want to give us a clear answer, so we'll thank you very much for calling us.
Most welcome.
Thank you.
There you have it. RHB, we'll continue picking up your calls on 0974-870-877.
This is
Breakfast.
Make some noise!
Red Hot Breakfast from 6 to 9 hours.